We've all done it. We've all looked up at the night sky and wondered if we're alone in the universe. And if we aren't alone, have beings from out there visited our planet? For centuries, people have reported sightings of UFOs, strange creatures, and unexplained phenomena. From ancient rock carvings to modern-day encounters captured on camera, the evidence suggests that we may not be alone in the universe. Hi, I'm your host, Dennis Gill, and in this episode, Revealing History, we'll explore some of the most compelling UFO sightings in history. Some can be explained away, and some can't. Is it possible we've been visited by beings from other planets? Let's dive in. Since man started looking up to the heavens, he has seen things that he could not explain. Some ancient paintings and carvings on rocks found all over the world seem to depict, according to some, spaceships and aliens, who some think have visited the Earth continuously for thousands of years. But is this rock art really aliens, or could it be something else entirely? Could it be a depiction of gods, ghosts, or demons? UFO sightings in the United States have been documented for almost 400 years. The first UFO sighting documented in America occurred in 1639, when Massachusetts Bay Colony co-founder and governor John Winthrop recorded a second-hand observation of unidentified objects in the sky over Boston. In his diary entry dated March 1st, 1639, Winthrop wrote about a sober, discreet man named James Everall, who was rowing a boat up the muddy river at night when he saw a great light in the sky. When it stood still, it flamed up, and was about 3 yards square. When it ran, it was contracted into the figure of a swine. It ran as swift as an arrow towards Charlton, and so up and down about 2 or 3 hours. On June 24, 1947, American aviator and businessman Kenneth Arnold reported he saw a string of 9 shiny unidentified flying objects flying past Mount Rainier in Washington State. According to Arnold, the craft were traveling at an estimated speed of 1,200 miles an hour. Now, to put this in perspective, this was almost 4 months prior to Chuck Yeager breaking the sound barrier when he flew the X-1, leaving from Edwards Air Force Base and achieving a speed of 700 miles an hour. What Arnold claims to have seen was traveling 500 miles an hour faster. Mount Rainier was the first UFO reporting of the modern era and led to the phrase flying saucer being coined by the media. There will be numerous other sightings in the same area of alleged UFOs over the next few weeks. Probably the most famous UFO sighting occurred in 1947 in New Mexico. On July 8th of that year, a mysterious object crashed near Roswell, New Mexico. The U.S. military quickly arrived at the crash site and reportedly recovered the debris. Witnesses reported seeing debris scattered across a wide area, including metallic fragments and strange materials with unusual markings. Some have even claimed to have seen bodies of extraterrestrials at the crash site. These reports have fueled speculation about a government cover-up and the existence of a UFO conspiracy. The Army initially claimed that what it was a flying disc, but later stated it was just a weather balloon. The Roswell Incident has been the subject of intense debate and numerous conspiracy theories over the years. Some believe that the crash involved an extraterrestrial spacecraft and that the government has been covering it up ever since. The Roswell Incident has captured the public's imagination and has become synonymous with UFOs and aliens. It has led to the establishment of the International UFO Museum and Research Center in Roswell and an annual UFO festival. And of course, it sparked a great interest by the public in UFO and extraterrestrials. Now, incidents like this and the advent of the space age has created an insatiable interest in all things alien. There have been countless television shows and movies on this topic. Following the reports from Washington State and New Mexico, the Air Force was given the task of investigating UFOs after its creation on September 18, 1947. In 1948, Project Sign was established to study the UFO phenomena and ran through most of 1948. After it was shut down, Project Grudge was established in February of 49 and ran to December. The goal of the project was to alleviate the public's fears about UFOs. The formal report at the conclusion of the project stated that there was no evidence that the UFOs being reported were otherworldly or the result of an advanced scientific foreign development. It was believed that what people were reporting were the result of mundane phenomena, hoaxes, or crackpots trying to get attention. Apparently not satisfied with findings outlined in previous reports, the Air Force created Project Blue Book to further study the UFO phenomena. The project was headquartered at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio and ran from March of 1952 until December of 1969. At the conclusion of the project, the Air Force had collected 12,618 UFO reports. 701 were classified as unexplained, with the balance being attributed to the flights of previously secret U-2 and SR-71 spy planes. Now, given that the increased number of UFO reports seems to coincide with the increased number of secret aircraft being tested by the United States, and after Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier, it makes sense that some of what people were seeing was in fact military aircraft. But not all sightings can be linked to these secret craft. Some, in fact, seem to defy all known explanation. On the night of July 19, 1952, an air traffic controller at the Washington National Airport spotted 7 unidentified flying objects in the sky southwest of the nation's capital. These objects were both observed on radar screens and were reported to be moving in a controlled and intelligent manner. The radar scopes at Washington National Airport and Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland tracked the mysterious blips, confirming the presence of unknown objects in the airspace. When the U.S. Air Force dispatched jets to investigate, they found nothing. The sightings continued on the following weekend, July 26th and 27th. At 8:15 p.m. on July 26th, a pilot and stewardess on a national airlines flight into Washington observed lights above their plane. Shortly after, both radar centers at National Airport and Andrews began tracking more unknown objects. A U.S. Air Force Master Sergeant visually observed the objects at Andrews. He described the lights as having no trails and exhibiting characteristics different from shooting stars. The Pentagon later attributed the radar blips to temperature inversions, claiming that they were false images caused by atmospheric conditions. However, this explanation has been met with skepticism and has not fully satisfied all researchers and witnesses. On March 13, 1997, a series of lights were observed in the skies over the southwestern states of Arizona and Nevada. The event, known as the Phoenix Lights, is considered one of the most widely witnessed UFO events in history. Witnesses reported seeing a large V-shaped object traveling southeast at 7:55 p.m. At 8:15 p.m., a former police officer in Arizona reported seeing a cluster of reddish-orange lights disappear over the southern horizon. Shortly afterwards, there were reports of lights seen over the Prescott Valley in Arizona. At approximately 10 p.m. the same evening, a large number of people in the Phoenix area reported seeing a row of brilliant lights hovering in the sky or slowly falling. A number of photographs and videos were taken of the lights, which showed a formation of lights in a V shape. The images and video were widely circulated and contributed to the event's notoriety. The event has been the subject of much speculation and debate. Some have suggested that the lights were caused by military flares or experimental aircraft. Others have claimed that the lights were extraterrestrial in origin. The United States Air Force has identified the second group of lights as a flare dropped by A-10 Warthog. But this explanation has yet been met with skepticism because it's similar to previous attempts by the government to explain the origins of UFOs. The lights above the New Jersey Turnpike is a lesser-known UFO sighting that occurred on July 14, 2001. At 12:30 a.m., several motorists driving along the turnpike reported seeing a strange object in the sky. The object was described as a large, triangular-shaped craft with bright lights on each corner. Witnesses reported that the object was hovering silently in the sky for several minutes before disappearing. Some witnesses reported seeing the object from different locations along the turnpike, and some reported that the object was so large that it blocked out the stars in the sky. Others said that the object was completely silent and did not make any noise. The sighting received some media coverage at the time, but it did not receive the same level of attention as other famous UFO sightings. However, The event has since gained some notoriety among UFO enthusiasts. No official explanation has been given. In 2004, U.S. Navy pilots encountered a UFO off the coast of San Diego, an event that has since become known as the Tic Tac UFO Incident. Commander Fravor and another pilot were flying F-18 Super Hornets during a standard training mission about 100 miles out in the Pacific Ocean when they were contacted by someone on the U.S. Navy cruiser USS Princeton about mysterious aircraft. They were then directed to investigate the objects. Fravor and his wingman encountered a tic-tac-shaped object that was hovering above the water. The object was described as being about 40 feet long and white, with no visible markings or exhaust plumes. Commander Fravor reported that the object was moving in ways that defied the laws of physics, including sudden stops and turns. The encounter was captured on video by one of the pilots. That video was later made public by the Department of Defense, thanks to an intelligence officer who says he wanted to shed light on the secret program that analyzed UFO sightings. The incident was investigated by the military, but no explanation was ever given for the object. Fravor and his wingman were debriefed and told not to speak about the incident. According to now retired Commander Fravor during a congressional hearing, he says the object he saw possessed technology far superior to anything the United States has and poses a threat to national security. November 7, 2006, a United Airlines employee at Chicago's O'Hare Airport who was on the tarmac observed a dark gray metallic craft hovering over the gate. The witness said the object hovered for approximately 5 minutes before ascending quickly up through the clouds, making a hole which enabled the witness to see the blue sky. Approximately 12 other United employees and others saw the object as well. The incident was deemed a weather phenomenon because the object was not seen on radar. An event in Stevensville, Texas on January 8, 2008 garnered significant attention and involved numerous witnesses reporting a large, unidentified flying object. Residents near the small town reported seeing a massive, fast-moving UFO in the sky. Dozens of witnesses, which included a pilot and police officer, described an object that hovered over the farming community for about 5 minutes before streaking away into the night sky. Witnesses described the UFO as being half a mile wide and a mile long. The object was said to have bright lights and was estimated to be suspended about 3,000 feet in the air. The Mutual UFO Network, a non-governmental organization dedicated to documenting UFO sightings, sent a team of 6 investigators to interview citizens of Stevensville who claimed to have witnessed the UFO. The organization received calls from around 50 citizens, and the credibility of the witnesses was considered exceptional. The military responded to the report, stating that the incident was the result of military training exercises. In 2017, the U.S. Department of Defense released a video known as the East Coast Go Fast video, which shows an unidentified flying object moving at high speeds over the Atlantic Ocean. The video was captured by U.S. Navy F-18 Super Hornet fighter jets 2 years prior. The video shows a small, white oblong object moving at high speeds over the Atlantic Ocean. The object was tracked by the fighter jet's advanced targeting system and was described as having no visible wings or exhaust plume. This event is eerily similar to the one that occurred in 2004 in the Pacific. The military has not offered an official explanation for the object seen in the video. However, some have suggested that the object could have been a drone or a secret government aircraft. Of course, there are thousands of additional reports of UFOs, now called unexplained aerial phenomena, or UAPs, by the government. Most have been explained away as natural occurring phenomena, but many still have not had a satisfactory explanation offered. Some of the reports have come from individuals who are trying to get their 15 minutes of fame, while some have come from those who aren't in their right minds. But as we have seen by the incidents we just talked about, many of them were witnessed by some very credible individuals who have nothing to gain by coming forward to share what they saw. In fact, many have experienced public ridicule. And in many cases, there are multiple witnesses who had no connection to one another prior to witnessing the UFO event. Are all of these sightings the result of naturally occurring atmospheric phenomena? Could they be angels or demons, as some have opined? Are they super secret government aircraft Or have we been visited by beings from another planet or another dimension? And if that is the case and the government has proof, why hide it? It seems there isn't an answer that will satisfy everybody. But as we know, the truth is out there. For now, we'll just have to keep our eyes on the skies and keep wondering. I hope that you found this episode of Revealing History both informative and entertaining. If you learned something, please consider supporting us by liking this video and subscribing. And let us know in the comments what you think. I'm Dennis Gill, and until next time, thanks for watching this episode of Revealing History.